Welcome to another episode of Follow the Brand TV. I am your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, a 5-star personal brand and business development company. I want to take you on a journey through another deep dive into the world of personal branding and business development using compelling personal stories, business conversations, and tips to improve your brand. By listening to the Follow the Brand TV series, you will differentiate yourself from the competition and build trust with prospective clients and employers. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Make it one that will set you apart, build confidence, and reflect who you are. Building your 5-star personal brand is a great way to improve your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me or any of my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh@5starbdm.com. Now, let's begin with our next episode on the Follow the Brand TV.
Five-Star BDM, Brand Development Masters, is a professional consulting and advisory group keenly focused on business development services for the small to mid-sized business and entrepreneurs. Although every business is unique, they often share business development challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. Services include process improvement and operations, digital strategy and transformation, business intelligence, digital marketing, and personal branding. Our business and personal branding company has helped a number of professionals and organizations to optimize and grow. This results in more business, more opportunities, better reach, positive outcomes. Visit www.5starbdm.com today to learn more.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Grant McGaugh. I am the CEO of 5-Star BDM. That's for Brand Development Masters. I am your business moderator for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our next speaker is Dr. Alexis Perdereaux-Weekes, a renowned data privacy advocate with a deep-rooted belief that every individual deserves sovereignty over their protected information. Dr. Perdereaux-Weekes is a senior global data protection and cybersecurity risk leader, boasting over 2 decades of unparalleled experience in domains such as information technology, risk management, data protection, and audit and compliance, traversing diversified industries like retail, healthcare, finance, and local government, both in regulated and non-regulated sectors. A stalwart believer in the theory of reciprocity, Dr. Perdereaux-Weekes is a fervent mentor and proactive contributor to learning and speaking endeavors, emphasizing data privacy, protection, and regulatory compliance governing consumer data management, processing, and disclosure. He currently enriches the realm of cybersecurity discourse as an associate research fellow and a member of the Cybersecurity and Information Privacy Policy Committee with the America's Institute for Cybersecurity Leadership. He has previously bestowed his leadership as the immediate past president of ISACA South Florida chapter and contributes his insights to several distinguished committees and associations, including the Nazi Florida chapter, our ADDI, IAPP, and InfraGard. Let's welcome Dr. Perdereaux-Weekes.
Hey, Grant, how are you, sir?
I'm getting much better. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, Mr. Dr. Perdereaux. I used to call him Mr. Perdereaux. He's a doctor now. He has ascended himself to a level of endeavor that he is a master of his craft. My first question I have for you, if you don't mind, because I think I want to address the elephant in the room. And what is that? What is that elephant in the room? That has to do with artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and our data protection as a consumer. What does that look like for you?
Well, from a landscape perspective, I think it is really changing. When we have a look at the introduction of AI into the conversation, you're talking about multiplying the opportunity to get to data, right? Over the last decade, we've seen an uptick in the number of AIs, machine learning, artificial intelligence. ChatGPT is one of the most famous things that most people are getting into. But I think the technology itself has been around for a while. It's just so that adoption has started to pick up recently with ChatGPT introducing that to the masses. When we start looking at the whole implication from a data protection perspective, I think there'll be some challenges around how the technology is adopted, whether we're going to go through a process of obtaining consent, right, which is the basis for the legal processing of individual data or customers' data from that perspective. So I see, within the course here, as we go forward and adopt the technology, there will be a lot of question around the basis. What is the data set? How was it developed? What is the soup that inside of the, in terms of the kitchen? What is it that we're cooking with? So from a protection of data, I think we are hoping that we'll see an expansion with the technology. But a lot of it is just going to become an adoption issue.
That's interesting that you say that, because we are on such a trajectory of growth in data of itself that I'm curious, like, where is this all going to go? I mean, you're talking about compliance. You're talking about, we already have a lot of cyber risk already. We have a lot of people that just aren't that savvy. Now you've got a technology that is kind of unregulated. I mean, how do we know right now? I'm talking to the actual Dr. Alexis Perdereaux-Weekes and not a deep fake. I mean, that's got to be driving you a little bit crazy right now in your field.
It is doable, right? One of the things we always talk about is the process of trust and verify. Right? We want to be in a process where we're in to be able to validate that I'm actually talking to Grant. So the one way to be doing that is, the old tried and true, right? Pick up the phone, it is Grant. It's the same approach when you think of it from an artificial intelligence perspective. One of the challenges we have to start looking at is the whole process of how is data being processed, right? As we go forward, you'll see more of that in a mix as general public trying to deal with that. But now, when you look at it from a risk and a business, with artificial intelligence, they're able to find more risk, right? So if you think it was bad before AI came into the picture, imagine somebody being able to do an attack against you and show all possibilities, right? That is documented or published from that perspective. So that's where I see a big impact of the technology on people, and it would kind of force you to start looking at it in a different way.
This is so curious, because I see where this is going to go. And I don't know if they can actually, from a government regulatory standpoint, really stamp everything out. You've got to start looking at it from the end user. You've got to look in your own world. I mean, think about now how it's going to affect the cybersecurity insurance business. I mean, that has got to be like a catch-22 on so many levels. Like you just say, hey, we can insert AI into your environment, come back to us. You've got all these possible risks. Did you or did you not mitigate all these risks, or you didn't? And if you did or you didn't, how's that going to affect your insurance premium up or down? I mean, have you had these discussions also?
So yeah, we had some of those discussions. I think one of the challenges I have seen in the marketplace is where, like I remember about a year ago when I was doing the renewal for my insurance, there was an option to get a discount, right? If you allow them to put something in your car that supposedly help you with your driving, right? But just think about it. The freedom that you're giving up. I'm the type of guy, when I go to get my car service, I automatically assume they're downloading my data, right? Because you have to start thinking of it from that perspective, where even in the automobile now, there's implication of organizations sharing that information, right? So that's outside of your day-to-day sharing on social media. You got to be mindful of some of the providers, now a car now electrified. So with the adoption of that technology, what you see is that now your car have an app, just like there's a phone system. You have your phone, all these different applications you're now running on your phone. You also have it in your car, right? You can hook up your car. You have CarPlay there, right? They're able to track geolocation, where you're looking, where you're going, where you've been from that indication. And that have nothing to do with the ability to tag your car, right? Getting a warrant to be able to track your device and the wiretapping from that perspective. But today, it's going to becoming more easier. Most people, you just connect the car. It's like you're going to rent it. Imagine if you get a rental car, you pop your phone in and your contacts get linked up to that, right? The advice is don't connect your phone to any car that you don't own. But if you think of it today, and that goes back to your question, if you consider the implication from a insurance provider receiving that rate, right? Imagine the ability for them to determine whether you are insurable, right? Just based on outside of the fact that they're already collaborating on information from the state. Like whenever you get an accident, all the lawyers call you, right? Obviously, somebody's sharing your information related to that event. But imagine if the insurance provider is now being provided with that information, the ability to make real-time decision on whether I should insure Grant, whether your rate should be higher than it is now. Those are the considerations that you need to look at, because the insurance providers, they've been using this technology for a while. Because when you go to buy insurance, your insurance is impacted by based on where you live, where your zip code, how many accidents, which state you're in. Right? So they're already using some of that information now to be able to put them in a position to have more information on customers beyond those information that was consented, right? So when you look at the whole implication of the regulation, one of the things that we face in tech today is that the industry takes a long time to catch up. So by time you look at a lot of organizations trying to develop new technology around AI and machine learning, organizations are already ahead of the regulators. So by the time they put the regulation in place, they already may have gone to something else. So Europe, for example, has been a great example of that, because they've been ahead of the game as it relates to attempting to regulate that. China has done the same thing, and many organizations in which data plays an integral part of the way it operates. When we look at it as a country, one of the challenges we have today is the fact that data is that new goal, right? And it is not going to be an easy fix for regulation and other things to just pass when the individuals who support into lobbying or any kind of activities are at the forefront of trying to inhibit some of that change as well, right? So there are folks that may perceive to be players for the customer, but at the end of the day, regulation would drastically impact our business model. And that becomes a dollar and cent thing. Once you get into a dollar and cent conversation, it's a totally different conversation.
Oh, man. What you said there, dollars and cents, the financial implications, how that all comes together. And now we're going to be in a context of where AI-enabled internet environment, data is being shared all over the place. You can't really, to your point, can't really stop that. I mean, I didn't even think about where, when you get in your car, you rent a car, and just link up so you can have hands free, and it's reading all your information. Or just the fact that you're on Google, you keep your Google Maps on. Well, it's got everywhere you've gone. It's there. There's a breadcrumb for what are all the what you've done. And if you haven't really read, who sits there and actually reads every software application that you get on your phone and all of a sudden ask you, it gives you like an encyclopedia of legal information. And then you're like, oh, you accept that? You're like, well, who the heck is going to sit there and read? You don't even know what it all means. Well, yeah, I accept it. Yeah, no problem. You don't realize you're giving them like the right to all your information, basically, and no recourse for like, hey, you use my information, like, and because like you gave me permission. You remember when you signed all this other stuff. So I'm hoping that there are people like yourself, because you are also getting your Juris Doctorate in this space, because I think there is some novelty out there. There's some people that just don't understand it. If you're even a small business and organizations are now coming to you, we just talked about cyber insurance. You're talking about different regulatory compliance, different obligations that you need to know about. So we are here talking on a worldwide stage to Black businesses all over the world. And a lot of them are what you would call SMB businesses. They don't have the protections of a large conglomerate corporation with thousands of employees. What advice do you give to those particular organizations, What if there's some best practices that you could share to make sure that they're ready for this next stage of technology?
Well, definitely. I think the SMB market is one of those areas where organizations think they're small enough that they're not going to get hit, right? The challenge that you have with that specific segment of the industry is the fact that because of a lack of resources, investment in technology, and it's not just a technology issue, right? It's people, process, and technology, and being able to find a balance between those. I think from an SMB perspective, one of the opportunities that they may need to look at is leveraging an organization that provides free resources, right? The cost of a consultant coming in to be able to provide some resources for you could be high, but there's free resources. Small Business Association, there's a lot of nonprofit organization. My organization, CyberMind Research Institute, provide opportunities similar to that as well. But just being able to know where to go, right? And think of it logically. When you start getting into things that is important to you, you start looking at what steps should I take? We always use the analogy of your house. When you leave your house, you don't leave the door wide open, right? But in your house, you have a layered defense where if I'm going to go and say, Grant, I know you like nice watches, right? So you're not going to just have that on the coffee stand in your house or just in the dressing table. You may have that in a vault. You may have that kind of put away to make sure that there's a security within that. Small business is the same approach, because small businesses, imagine if you have a contract, let's say $500,000 that you're supposed to get paid for services. And imagine if you have a cyber event where instead of the routing information that you share for the person who you sort of build the service, now it gets switched out, right? Because somebody's been in your network looking at how you're progressing day to day in terms of the uses of technology, and they just switch those out and you don't know. All of a sudden, that $500,000 in contract payment that you were expected could now be siphoned off, right? Whether it's on your side or whether it's on the payer side. So the challenge that you're faced there is, how do you try to stay ahead of those individuals who are trying to take advantage of that? Basic things. If you have a small business, there's services where you can put it in the cloud. Some you could do on-prem. But it's always a trust and verify. At the end of the day, before you do anything, if you're going to tell me, hey, I need you to send me $100, I need to verify that Grant is the one asking me to send this $100, right? So those situations is an ideal situation for a small business to be able to assess how transactions are being done, especially when it comes to money. Maybe you can have a layered approach in terms of approval. Maybe if there's a transaction that's $1,000, maybe Grant approve it. But maybe if it's like $500,000, 2 or 3 people need to approve that, right? Especially if you're the one paying it from that perspective. But, you know, small and medium-sized businesses, I think the attack vector just continue to change. And when you look at it where we're seeing it today, it's not just small businesses, but there's large businesses, counties, cities that are being impacted today. And when you consider the way the landscape is changing, because they don't have the funds to keep up with technology, they're always going to be behind the fence, right? So basic thing, updating, having virus scan, having the application that tests for malware, disconnect your device when you're not online, right? So, you know, you're always going to hear me preach that. If you're not online at 2, 3 o'clock, there's no reason why your device should be online, right? So being able to be mindful of some of those basic things, you know, a lot of the events are related to hygiene, basic security hygienes that organizations or individuals are not following. And sometimes we get so comfortable with depending on technology that we don't do it ourselves, right? But when you get to the fact, if it's your money, you know, I have a colleague of mine who was part of my research group. He always said, if you have my money, I trust you. The challenge is that just like a bank, you need to make sure that that communication, you're communicating to the right person. Because with the technology today and AI, the ability, it's not a long time ago, everything is just a misspelled word. We've moved beyond that now, right? Because now you can get an AI, hack that AI or other type of solutions where they can go and create that ideal phishing thing. And they can go and spend time, and because individuals are putting way too much information online, they could know Grant is going to go to Jamaica next week, right? Because you've been on social talking about, hey, I'm going to be away. Now they know you're not at home. So there is small little things from a business perspective that you want to make sure that you're doing every day to be secure, right? If you do a trust and verified, have multiple people approve different transactions at a different level within the organization, the days of getting free software is gone, right? Pay for the services that you need to do, especially if you're running a business. It may cost you a little, but if you're not careful, it may cost you a lot later, right? So that free services, most organization is going to like a subscription base now. So the days of popping in a Windows device and then just sharing the key is over. Obviously, you can't really do those now. But if you're running your business, spend the time to invest in your technology, invest in your people, and make sure that you're doing awareness training all the time, right? Because you cannot invest $1 million in technology and not train the people who's using that technology, right? No matter how much you configure, sometimes it does come down to the person not clicking the link. You know, as an advocate, one of the things that I always tell in organizations is that if you're waiting for the user to not click a link, you've already lost the game, because they will click that link, right? So you need to have solution in place that address the underlying clicking of that link to make sure that, you know, things are not introduced that, you know, you can't monitor.
These are, you know, great tidbits of information that we truly need to understand. I want to understand more about CyberMind, your business that you started. And I also want you to talk about, and we've talked about this before, but we need to continue to talk about that. We need more people of color to be involved in understanding information technology and cybersecurity as a whole, and not be intimidated by it, to get involved, to kind of pull back the covers and really get down into this. It's very lucrative. I know a lot of people that are in cybersecurity, they get, you know, hefty salaries, you know, definitely well over, you know, 6 figures, in the high 6 figures for what they do, because it's very, very important, and it's an open field. And I don't think you need like a lot, you know, like 10 to 20-year experience. You can, you know, get your certifications and begin to have impact probably within, you know, a few years. So to help us understand more about CyberMind and how we can get more involved with the cyber security technology field.
Perfect. So, you know, CyberMind grew out of an idea that a couple of my colleagues and I had during our doctoral program. So one of the things that it was an executive doctoral program in a university in South Florida, where we all bring our own skills, right? So there was executives, CEO, VPs, directors, and individuals that already had years of experience in the industry. So one of the things that we're trying to do is how do we twist that and now understand the research side of the business. So we formed CyberMind to be able to address that risk, because one of the things that we saw today is, like I said, you're not going to technology your way out of this solution, right? The biggest defense that an organization can have is awareness. And if you're not able to train your people and provide educational opportunities, it is going to be a challenge kind of meeting those trends, right? Because the adversary is spending a lot more time investing than you and I are, from that perspective. So from a CyberMind perspective, we have individuals that have multiple industry experience. We have CIO, we have CEO, we have PMO, we have executives, we have data protection, we have folks who's going back to law school like myself after getting a doctoral degree. And the whole focus behind the organization is just being able to help those organizations. There are many organizations who do not have the resources to be able to, bring in an executive in and have that conversation. Because now the conversation is like, okay, how do you now go speak to the board? One of the things that we see in the industry is that most organizations appear in like a more reactive mode, right? So you may have an incident at your organization, you've been trying for years to get funding, and as soon as you have a breach, all of a sudden you get $5 million, right, to invest and make the kind of change you wanted to do. As an organization, CyberMind is trying to change that mindset. An organization could be more reactive. I come out of the days of running business continuity, doing disaster recovery when Katrina was coming in for a multi-million-dollar organization or billion-dollar organization at the time, and always thinking of it from a risk perspective. When I come in, I want to know what is the way somebody can get in, and what is the way they can impact your data, and what is the implication of that to you as an organization. So the foundation of CyberMind is just that, right? To be able to kind of work with those organizations and create those awareness training programs and just talk about, the way of getting in. I think you kind of brushed on the topic of how you're going to get started. It's, not everybody in security and cyber is a hacker, right? One of the things we want to change that mindset is the fact that, you can be a salesperson and come into cyber because you can sell cyber solution, right? You can be a hacker, you can be an ethical hacker, you can be a developer, you can be a person who works in the help desk, right? A person who works in the help desk can be a great incident triager, right? So they can be a part of your risk mitigation team where they'll be able to identify, because okay, if a user is calling, what are some of the things that they should look for based on what is being said? And who's the first person who's going to get you if you're going to get an attack, right? Normally it's the help desk, because they may try to emulate the help desk. So, the whole purpose behind that is to be able to bring industry experience combined with the whole research focus, right? So multiple partners who's a part of the organization have different focus. Some does AI, some does HR, some does talent, some does risk, some does healthcare, some does finance. So as a collective, we are able to bring this, 50 plus years or 100 plus years of experience in industry in different areas. And as a risk professional, the idea is to be able to sit down and assess what is it that may work for you. Like I did healthcare for 10 years, right? I worked for many organizations, the big players in this field. So having done that for larger folks, the question is, how do we now look at, who's the next set of leaders that's going to come in the industry? Where do they go get the knowledge, right? One of the things that we talked about before as well is around mentoring. How do we get started? Who's the one that influenced you to get in? I was fortunate. I had a great mentor when I started, Dr. Fernando Martinez, and, his influence in me continue years after, I worked for him. And now there's, people around the world who's been impacted based on his mentorship opportunities that he decided to spend in me. So in order for us to get to that level where we can duplicate ourselves, we need to spend the time with the next set of leaders who at least have an interest. In addition to that, NIST have an entire cybersecurity pathway, right, where folks can reach out and look at different career paths within the field. So if you wanted the DevOps, SecOps, privacy, compliance, multiple things, there is a path for you. We always say, just bring your authentic self into the industry, and whatever your skill set is, you're going to be in a position to contribute that. So why not just bring what you have now instead of trying to say, hey, Grant, you need to change? No, I don't need to change Grant. I need Grant to just come in and bring the skill that he is. Maybe he's great at business. He's podcasting. He's doing all these different things. He's starting business and entrepreneurship. Imagine if you was to turn around and take that time to help that other small business not lose $500,000, right? So that's the whole basis behind it. Our goal is to change the mindset of the industry and try to combine from industry and the research side of it.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. And you are so right. Just bring your authentic self. Everybody has skill sets. They might not even realize that the knowledge that they have is someone else's gold, and it depends on how you utilize it and apply it. So good. I like the words mindset. Those two words are so big. Before you are told on the outside no, don't tell yourself no. Go out there and apply yourself and find people that are in the space like Dr. Alexis Perdereaux-Weekes that are doing these things. Reach out to these people and you find out that there is a path forward for you. I want to talk about something because one of the biggest hacks that just happened, and people, I'm sure they're a little curious about, like, how can that happen? And you see this stuff on television, Ocean's 11. Everybody remembers Ocean 11, then Ocean 12 or 13. Like, it's not that easy to just go and hack a casino and then expect them to extract millions of dollars. However, this happened in Las Vegas. Not even in a couple of weeks back, where organizations like MGM, there was some way that they got in and they actually demonstrated by shutting down their casino and like, well, you can either pay me or lose even more money on the slots. And this happened. Talk to us how a giant corporation like that was also vulnerable to such a hack.
Always the people. The weakest link sometimes always end up being the people, because no matter how much you invest in the technology, sometimes it still comes back to the people. It was alleged that I think there was a entrance through the loyalty program, right? Or some one of the other system outside of where guests may traditionally register as well. But you could imagine today a loyalty program and multiple customer type of programs like that have a lot of information, right? Because most people who want to get discounts and travel and other types of amenities continue to utilize those services. And they collect way more information than you really think they have just to give you that discount as well. But I think, the idea that there's companies like that won't be impacted is astonishing. The challenge is that companies like that are constantly being hit every day. Sometimes they just don't reveal it, but they have challenges that they're facing on a regular basis. Maybe not in that side of the business, maybe in other side where they have guest relations and credit card transaction and other things related to the hotels. But they're not outside of the microscope. They're going to continuously be hit because they're going to look for soft targets, right? At the end of the day, that's why you have to continuously learn. You have to continuously learn about the challenge, what implications, what you're exposed to on an ongoing basis. Because remember, they want to have to be right one time. You're defending the boundary every single day, 24/7. When you go home and sleep, there's automated, through AI and other things, where they're actually testing your network every single time to see what's your response rate. Where is it protected? Situation like that, you start looking at saying, okay, if a user call on the other side and they're at the front, what access should they have? You have to be able to assess that at any given time and then start looking at how your network is created. Because the question is, if they were able to use that as an entrance, where were they able to go on the network after they exfiltrate or got into that system, right? How is the network architected? Is it flat? Is it segmented in a specific way? Those things will continue to be challenges that organization needs to face. And if you go listen to my original statement about not investing that money at the beginning, we don't know. Maybe the individual was trying to address risk before and they said, hey, we don't have money because we are spending it on the casino side of the business where it's making money, right? IT tend to be one of those areas of the business because we don't really make money for the business. we tend not to have the level of budget or influence, whether it's at the board level or investment financially, to be able to address some of the risks that is really needed for the business. But after the fact, they'll find money. There'll be a lot of change. Whoever is working there the next time around will have a lot of new tools and more visibility as we go forward.
I totally agree with that. We're getting to the end now. I want to make sure that the audience has an opportunity to connect with you. Let them know how to contact CyberMind. This is so important. I want to thank you also for being on the Black Business Network. So if you can let us know your contact information, we'll go from there.
Talking on mute. Yeah, you can find me on social. You can find me on LinkedIn, Dr. Alexis Perdereaux-Weekes, or you can search CyberMind Research Institute. We are listed there as an organization, myself, Dr. Honey, Dr. Hicks, Dr. Joseph. So multiple people who's a part of the organization. If you reach one of us, we'll be able to kind of reach out to you. We are a nonprofit organization, so our goal is to be able to find a way to give back. And opportunities like these give us a chance to talk about the organization, why we started it, and our goal of being able to address the cyber risk for businesses.
Excellent. Well, thank you again for being on the Black Business Network. Genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. Please, you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App at $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. Please donate to the Black Business Expo USA Scholarship Fund.
Man, who's your favorite podcaster? Man, Grant, man. I love Grant's podcast. Well, who's Grant? I'm going to send you the link. I love Grant.
Follow the Brand TV broadcast host, Grant McGaugh, as he visits with top executives and entrepreneurs to find out their secrets of success with their personal brand. Follow the Brand TV broadcast host as he focuses on brand development to build better relationships, bring value to your business, relationships, and career. You will enjoy listening to each episode that is tailored to speak to you directly. If you're looking for this type of clarity in terms of building your brand, you have tuned into the right station. Each episode will help you to shape a conversation in the 5-star BDM network of 20,000 professionals and become a springboard for your corporate engagement and business opportunities. Each guest will frame their story in the areas of personal branding, business development, career development, financial empowerment, and technology innovation. Grant McGaugh explains why he is the CEO and owner of his own professional career. Grant is an accomplished business leader and entrepreneur who wants to give back to individuals to grow their personal brand strategy. Tune in as he weaves his story about new possibilities, while to you exceed expectations. If you love storytelling, this show will make for fun.
The 5-star BDM LinkedIn social selling course can help you stand out and attract the right connections and opportunities. We will help you professionally create your profile, provide personalized recommendations for improvement, and help you create and share engaging content to help you showcase your skills and expertise. Our 5-step course makes connecting with industry experts, finding job opportunities, and building meaningful relationships easy. Social selling can be an effective way for you to generate leads and close deals, but it does have its challenges. Our course will help you solve the problems associated with digital networking. If you need help personalizing your outreach and messaging, which can lead to low response rates and a lack of engagement. If you need help targeting the right prospects, this course is for you. With so much noise on social media, it can be challenging to cut through the clutter and get your message in front of the right people. Our course will personalize your messaging using our targeting tools and research. You can identify and reach the right prospects. We will also show how to deliver high quality, valuable content that attracts and engages prospects and clients. The 5-star BDM LinkedIn social selling course will address these challenges by implementing best practices. As a result, you can improve your social selling efforts and generate better results. Are you looking to improve your LinkedIn profile and reach a wider audience? Social selling is an effective way for you to generate leads and close deals, but it does have its challenges. Some common problems we saw with social selling include lack of visibility. If your profile is not optimized or you're not actively participating in groups or sharing content, it can be difficult to get noticed on LinkedIn. Number 2, lack of personalization. Some businesses struggle with personalizing their outreach and messaging, which can lead to low response rates and a lack of engagement. Also, difficulty targeting the right prospects. It can be difficult to identify and target the right prospects on social media, especially if you don't have access to robust targeting tools. And number 4, outdated content. If your LinkedIn profile or content is not up to date, it can give the impression that you're not actively engaged on the platform or that your skills and experience are not current. And lastly, poor quality content and not leveraging video and picture to convey ideas. To solve these problems, the 5-star BDM LinkedIn Optimization Social Selling Video course will help you focus on personalizing your outreach and messaging to better connect with prospects. In module number 1, the foundation, we will help you create high quality, valuable profile that will attract and engage. In module 2, the story, optimizing your LinkedIn profile to make sure it is complete, accurate, and visually appealing. In module number 3, the experience, using your targeting tools and research to identify and reach out to the right prospects. In module number 4, engagement, establishing a consistent follow-up process to nurture leads and build relationships over time. And lastly, in number 5, execution. Understand the metrics to help you measure your brand effectiveness. By addressing these challenges and implementing best practices, you will improve your social selling with the 5-star BDM LinkedIn Optimization Social Selling course. Listen to what others have said about 5-star BDM.
Grant, I'll tell you why I'm here, right? I'm here because I love your brand. When we started chatting on LinkedIn, we connected. I checked you out and I go, man, this guy knows what he's talking about.
You were definitely instrumental in helping to shape that knowledge of who I am. Because at first I thought, well, I am an actress. I am a writer. I am a producer. I am a speaker. And so I said, well, I must be a creative communicator. I know that there is a narrative thread here, but you nailed it when you said you are a storyteller. So you brought it all together in this cohesive title.
Sign up today to improve your social selling opportunities. I was able to grow my network to over 20,000 professionals in the field of healthcare and technology with a consistent brand presence that excites and informs my community. Become the CEO of your personal brand. You must believe in yourself. Greetings. I am Grant McGaugh, the CEO and guide behind 5-Star BDM, your sanctuary for business transformation. Here, enterprises are reborn through the harmonious synthesis of strategy and state-of-the-art technology, all under the illuminating embrace of artificial intelligence. My journey is fueled by an unyielding passion to unlock the boundless opportunities embedded within technology. Here at 5-Star BDM, we intertwine with the quintessential values of our clients, meticulously crafting roadmaps that resonate with precision, adaptability, and harmony. We relish addressing challenges, transforming them into stepping stones and guiding organizations to ascend to new peaks by leveraging avant-garde solutions. Our Follow the Brand podcast series is a convergence of pioneering thoughts and groundbreaking ideas, where industry luminaries and revered guests unravel the multifaceted tapestry of technology and innovation. Diving deep into the core of operational essence, we at 5-Star BDM orchestrate swift and transformative changes, refine processes, and amplify customer experiences, all through the eloquence of AI and digital mastery. In synergy with our value partners, we marry technology, tenacity, and creative intuition with ensuring every encounter within your digital sphere is not just functional, but a harmonious symphony of delight and substantial impact. With 5-Star BDM, you're not simply constructing a business. You are sculpting a progressive journey, morphing every opportunity into a symphony of success. So let's innovate, elevate, and thrive together, turning opportunity into success and innovative brilliance. Reach out and commence this transformative journey by going to 5starbdm.com for more information. A strong personal brand has the potential to accelerate careers and businesses, differentiate great candidates, and open doors to new connections and opportunities. By building strong relationships with potential customers and demonstrating its value, my client was able to close more sales, drive a 200% increase in revenue, and establish a loyal customer base.
You need to be messaging and communicating to a lot more folks and getting them committed to you as a brand and feeling that you are trustworthy, as a subject matter expert, and for their needs and their pain points. That says, look, here are my pain points. Here's the problem that I have that I don't want, or the benefit that I want that I don't have. And Grant and Sydney understand that and are giving me information to be able to assist, in my eliminating those pain points.
You're going to get a lot out of this workshop. We're going to show you ways that you can begin to look at this particular problem, that you can apply different formulas, techniques, and skills. They're going to get you to that next level. And then you'll understand the value that we're bringing. Here's my question for you. Are you in the audience of your life, or are you on the center stage of your life? You can become the kind of person who does highly influential work. Your work can solve pressing problems, improve people's lives, and get noticed by important people. You could have the world's most important message or greatest story, but no one will ever see it if you don't promote and package it intelligently.
Problem is that the task and the monumental nature of the challenge is so great that so many people are in a two-track world. They've got to deliver now and learn now. And there really isn't a certification, and there's great places like Cornell and that will give you the academic knowledge, which is necessary, of course. But it won't give you the knowledge to do something right this second and to make key decisions without fear of negative repercussions.
passion has been around helping communities of color and historically underrepresented and underserved communities, minority, rural, veterans, persons who are differently able, in the intersection of education, innovation, technology, industry, and let's throw some entrepreneurship in there just for fun. More around innovation, incubators, accelerators. I love the idea of going from innovation to commercialization.
Tune in for our next show or click on our website at www.5starbdm/followthebrandtv. Thank you. Hey everyone, it's Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM and host of the award-winning Follow the Brand podcast and TV series, where I help you to build a 5-star brand that people will follow. My genius is personal brand development through intelligent communication and helping you achieve your business and career goals. I am a requested speaker on digital technology and brand development issues. I want to work with you to increase the value of your current opportunities while attracting new ones. Every one of you is unique, and we all share challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. As a super connector, I work with you as an executive coach to guide you along the complicated business and career development road, providing the enhancement tools and information you need to succeed. Together, I will help you succeed in today's challenging business climate. I will evaluate and measure your progress. Best of all, I am right alongside you every step of the way. Build the brand called you. Genius.